Hi, Nancy. So this is your workout video. Just a reminder, we're presuming that you've got a mat, a yoga bolster, a flex band, and then a stability ball, but I'm going to use a chair because I don't have one with me right now. If you don't have a stability ball, then those exercises, which are just the ones we're going to start with, I would have you do standing instead of seated. So either on the ball or standing, and you can also vary that, right? So some days you can do them on the ball, it'll give you a little more ab and stability work. Some days you can do them standing, and it'll be a little extra leg and balance work slightly. All right, so we are going to start on the ball, and you're going to start sitting nice and tall and just take a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth like you're blowing out a candle. Keep breathing here, inhaling and exhaling. And on every exhale, you're going to try to gently engage your abs, drawing your belly button to your spine, trying to have that low from pubic bone to belly button. On every inhale, you might lose that connection, but on every exhale, you find that zip again. Inhale and exhale. From here, you're going to let your arms hang at your sides, and you're going to elevate and depress the shoulder blades. Basically a little shoulder shrug, sliding up and down. But what you want to think about is you want to make sure that when the shoulders go up, they also don't roll in and forward. So you're trying to keep that collarbone nice and wide and keep that chest open. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Now we're going to go into protraction and retraction. So you're still sitting on that ball, but your arms are out in front, and you're going to move from the shoulders. So you spread your shoulder blades apart, they protract. You slide them together like you're squeezing them towards the spine, they retract. Exhale, protract. Inhale, retract. Now, as you do this, try to make sure your head isn't really moving excessively, and it's really just your shoulder blades on that spine. Spread them apart. Inhale, slide them together. Exhale, they spread. Inhale, they come together. One more time. Spread and together. And from here, we'll go right into arm circles. Float the arms up and slide them down. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Float the arms up and down like you're making a snow angel. Let's do one more. Up and down. Now on the ball, you're going to do a few pelvic tilts. So the ball will move underneath you, but you're going to tuck the tailbone and stick the tailbone out. You're trying just to move that pelvis. So it's not happening in the rib cage, right? It's not a big move. It's just tuck the tailbone, drawing in on the abs, stick it out. If you don't have the ball yet and you're standing, you'll put a soft bend in your knees and tuck and stick it out. Tuck the tailbone, stick it out. Tuck, stick it out. Tuck, stick it out. Tuck that ball and stick it out. From here, we're going to go side to side. So if you're standing, you'll keep that soft bend and your hips will sway side to side. If you're on that ball, it's the same little move. I can't really do it seated, but the ball will kind of move underneath you. A little left and right action. And I'm actually going to close this because I think you'll be able to see what I'm doing better. So left and right. Good. From there, still seated on that ball, this one's going to take a little more balance. You're going to put one hand on the side of the ball and stretch over. And then come on up and go to the other side. And again, if you're standing, you can do this standing. You might just want a slightly wider stance with your feet for a little bigger base. So if you're not on that ball, you keep your hips stable and bend side to side. Inhale to bend, breathing into that rib cage. Exhale to pull yourself up. Inhale, expanding the ribs even more with that breath. Exhale, back up. Inhale and exhale. Inhale One more time each side. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. All right, we're going to get rid of that ball and we're going to swap it out for the flex band and we're going to come to standing. So you're going to stand on the center of the band with an end in each hand, and you want to make sure that band is nice and wide under your feet. So you're definitely connected with it. Your legs are hip distance apart. So hip distance is where your femur comes into your pelvis, not where you'd put your hands on your hips. So your legs might be a little closer than you'd naturally think. And your toes are pointing forward, and you're holding an end of the band in each hand, and you're going to shift your weight and press one leg out, and then land. Exhale to press, inhale to land. So this plays with balance a little bit as you shift side to side. You're trying to stay as tall as you can be. We're going to do 10 on each side. Every exhale, you think of that zip of the jeans. So you draw in on the abs, belly button to spine, but from pubic bone to belly button, that's why we think zip the jeans. 5 more each side. Press. Try not to let those toes turn out. They stay forward. You should feel the work in the sides of your butt and hip in addition to balance here. All right, we've got 3 more each side. 3, 2, press into that band, 1, and 1. You're going to stay on the band, but you can like do a little soft bend or shake the hips a little side to side just to loosen that out a little bit. And then you're standing again, legs hip distance apart, but try not to lock them. So there's a soft bend. And we're going to do some bicep curls for 10, 9, 8, 6, 5. Again, you're standing upright. 4, 3, 1. Release those arms. From here, we're going to hit those triceps, right? You're going to do a little soft bend in your knees. Stick the butt out, but you're neutral. So you want to make sure you're not tucking under, but you're also not overarching. The abs are connected. You've got that natural curve in your spine. For this one, don't feel like you have to force it, but pull your arms back as far as you can. Then keep the upper arm still and bend and straighten the elbow. So if you feel any tension in the neck, 1, try to make sure you're not holding your hands too far back and soften that. Or you can also slightly turn your head from side to side just to make sure the neck doesn't grip in this position. You don't have to add that turn if your neck feels fine, but I know that was sort of an area you're worried about. So either turning the head or just holding it still, whatever feels better to you. Exhale to press back. When in doubt, we exhale on exertion. So it's exhale, straighten, inhale, bend. For 3, 2, 1. Come on up. We're going to do biceps and triceps again, but we're going to change the rhythm. So you're going to bend and then release. 3, 2, 1. Bend, release. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Now, if you're reversing the breath on this, it's okay. It just changes it up, right? The bend is the exertion, but the exhale is a little bit easier for that long breath. But if you want to reverse it, you'll just challenge that inhale. So there's no wrong answer as long as you're breathing here. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Bend, 1, 2, 3. Still nice and tall. Bend, 1, 2, 3. Now back to triceps, same concept, that soft little bend, tilt forward a little, but neutral in the pelvis. Pull the arms back, but don't force it. Make sure your neck feels okay. And those collarbones are nice and wide again, right? You're not winding up here, but open those collarbones. And now bend and then straighten. 3, 2, 1, bend. Exhale, 3, 2, 1, bend. Now we have the exhale with the hard part, and we've slowed that down. Inhale. Straighten, 3, 2, 1, bend. Straighten, 3, 2, 1, bend. Bend. 3, 2, 1. 3 more. 3, 2, 1, bend. 3, 2, 1, bend. 3, 2, 1, bend. Come back to straight. All right, we've got one more with the band in this position. We're going to go back to shifting the weight and pressing out, but you're going to repeat 8 on one side. So if you're finding that's a little bit of a struggle with balance, find somewhere, a wall or a chair that will support you, and use 1 or 2 fingers or as many as you need. You can even ditch the band if you need to, or hold it in one hand. So if you need something to help you balance, go for that. Otherwise, still an end in each hand, shift your weight slightly and press out into that band with that straight leg. Remember, we don't want the legs locked, so there's a soft bend, and you exhale to push away for 5, 4, don't worry about how big it is, 3, 2, 1. Weight into the other leg and press into this side. Exhale, 10, 9, 8. Again, you want to feel that work in the side of the hip. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, from here. Now, if I recall, this worked okay for you, but I can't remember exactly the length of your flex band. In an ideal world, you're going to stand with the band nice and wide. We always want to get it wide because it's less likely to come out, and under the ball of the foot. If it's under your arches, it can come out easier too. So as an extra precaution, we'll do both feet, but if your band isn't long enough, you can come more towards the end and have it just under one foot. So either one foot on that band or both, ideally both if the band is long enough. And then you're going to hold the band in that one hand, and you can make a fist or you hold it with your thumb and your fingertips are long. And you're going to do overhead and side bend and come back. So whether you're making a fist or long fingertips, the palm faces forward through the whole move. Exhale. Now we're starting keeping the hips stable and just bending through the waist. And you can stick with that if that feels better, but if it feels okay for these next 5, let the hips press into the band and return. You'll want to make sure the band is around the outside of your elbow so it doesn't whack you in the face. Let those hips press into the band. 2 more here. 2. Inhale. And exhale. All right, let's switch sides. So, getting that band nice and wide, always taking the time for that, both feet on ideally, holding it in your other hand, making sure that it's around the back of your elbow, palm forward. The first 5, we keep the hips still. So, inhale and return. Now, again, you could reverse the breathing, but we're using the breath to inflate the ribs and get a deeper stretch, but that means we are inhaling on exertion, so we've switched the breath. Truly doesn't matter, it's going to get you different things. So as long as you find a breath pattern you like, we're okay. Now let the hips sway out for 5. Inhale, 4. And 3. Exhale, 2. And 1. Release that band. We're going to come down onto all 4s for a cat stretch. So if the knees are sensitive, you could put a pillow under them, or you could always fold your mat a little extra for a little extra knee pad. But knees are hip distance apart, hands are shoulder width apart. Inhale here. Exhale, draw up on the abs, tuck the tailbone round the back, arch like a Halloween cat. Then stick the tailbone out, slide the shoulders down and lift the head. Exhale, scoop the belly, round the spine. And stick the tailbone out, slide the shoulders down. Abs initiate the move. You tuck the tailbone, get as rounded as you can. Then stick the tailbone out, unwind, pausing in neutral. So in yoga, with your yoga training, sometimes you go deeper than neutral. We're pausing at neutral. And then you're going to round the spine and unwind 2 more times. Abs draw in, tuck the tailbone and round. Then stick that tailbone out and lengthen. 1 more. Abs initiate, scoop the belly round and unwind. This time we're going to do a moving cat. So you're going to round as you sit back towards a shell stretch, or like you're headed towards child's pose in yoga. Then come back and return to neutral. Exhale, tuck the tailbone round as you sit back and return to neutral. Abs pull in as you sit back and return. Abs draw in, scoop the belly and return. Exhale and inhale 1 more time. Tuck and sit back and return. All right, next we're going to pull out your yoga bolster. Just so I have something similar to you, I'm going to roll my mat back up. So it's kind of like a bolster. And if you're ever traveling and don't have your bolster handy, you can do this too. It's not as wide, so it's not as nice, but you're going to sit on your bolster long ways. And you had different heights. The higher, the better, right? You want to start more comfortable here. We're going to start knees bent, feet on the floor. And we're starting with the half roll back. And if you remember, that comes from the tuck of the tailbone, like you're dialing your pelvis back. When you first did this one, you were kind of hinging in and out of it. Not a wrong move, but not the goal of this one. So really do a few pelvic tilts again, making sure that your move is coming from your pelvis. And then we're going to make it bigger, but it's led by that pelvis. So reach your arms out. You're nice and tall. Tuck the tailbone between your legs. So your pubic bone's coming between your legs. Round back. Take a deep breath in here. Then round forward. Look between your knees. Breathe in. Roll back away from your thighs. Inhale. Exhale. Spill forward. Look between your knees. Round back, keeping that tuck of the tailbone so you're rounded, and then spill forward, feeling those abs connect. Roll back and round forward, and then stack up nice and tall. All right, we're going to add to this a little twist. So it's that same move. You tuck and roll back, but this time we're going to twist. So the arms are out, palms are down. You're going to tuck the tailbone, twist and reach behind you, and then come back up nice and tall. To the other side, tuck the tailbone, twist and reach back, and tall. Again, it initiates always with the tuck of the tailbone, twist and reach, and stack up tall. Inhale to twist and reach back. Exhale to drop on those abs, come as tall as you can. Tuck and roll back, and lengthen. Roll back and reach and come up tall. Abs draw in, you reach and lengthen. Roll back and reach. 1 more time each side. Roll back, reach. Abs connect. Roll back and reach. Come up tall. All right, we've got 1 more in this position. Kind of to show you the difference in feel between the round back and the hinge. We're going to alternate between the two. Now, when you were doing that originally, you felt that kind of deep in your hips. That's normal. People feel that here, but we also want to feel the abs. So think of connecting with your abs and see how they feel in these 2 different positions. So up nice and tall again, this time palms face each other. Tuck the tailbone and roll back, but instead of rounding forward, come back up to tall. Now keep the height. Now hinge back and then return to tall. And again, you will feel those hips. Roll back. If you want to feel the hips a little bit less, you can straighten the legs and come up to tall and hinge back, looking for more abs and tall. So legs straight or bent, and you can change that up day to day depending on what you're feeling, but you want to get the hip flexors to release a little bit so that the abs can do more of the work. Inhale to tuck the tailbone, exhale to return. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, tuck. Exhale, tall. Inhale, hinge. Exhale, tall. Inhale, tuck. Exhale, tall. Inhale, hinge. Exhale, tall. Relax. Go ahead and bend those knees. So we did 3 exercises in the same seated position. If it starts to bother your hip flexors, you can always come out of it, right? Take a minute, pause me, and then come back into it. All right, we're gonna come to kneeling tall, back with that flex band. And you're gonna have the flex band nice and wide around your thighs or hips, wherever it is that your arms are arm's length at your sides. And the flex band's already tight, so you've already got a lot of resistance. From here, we're gonna do the chest opener. So you'd ask for a few chest openers. This is a good one. Also, it incorporates keeping the neck loose. You'll see similarities between what we did in our triceps. Abs are on. Feel that connection from pubic bone to belly button. Pinkies are turned in towards each other, so palms facing your sides. And then pull the arms back. Now, it's not a very big move. Hold it and turn your head as far as you can to one side comfortably, then to the other, then return. Release the arms, but don't let go of that tension. You don't want to let the flex band come off your body. All right, from here, pull back. Keep those collarbones wide. Turn, turn, center, release. Exhale, big exhale, inhale to release. Exhale to pull back and turn, turn, inhale, release. Pull back, turn, turn, center, release. Pull back, turn, turn, center, release. Pull back, turn, turn, center, release. Pull back with wide collarbones. Exhale, inhale, 2 more times. Pull back, turn, turn. This is also working your triceps, so you get a double whammy here with the triceps. Pull back, turn, turn, center, release. Give it a little wiggle or a shake. And from here, we're going to lie down on your back. So you mentioned sometimes when you lie down, you use a pillow. It would be fine generally to put a small pillow under your head. But on this one, I would not put the pillow because we're going to be rolling up and sometimes that compresses the neck a little bit more. But you can play with it. If one position feels better on your neck, go for it. I just wouldn't use it on this particular exercise. So legs are hip distance apart, heels are right beneath your knees, and you're starting in neutral. From here, you're going to tuck the tailbone like you've been a bad dog, pressing your back into the floor, and then continue that motion and peel the spine off 1 vertebrae at a time. Then you're going to roll back down, tucking that tailbone. So really tuck the tailbone and release it to neutral with that natural curve in your spine at the last second. Abs draw in, scoop that belly. Exhale to peel off. You're squeezing the butt. And then roll back down and release to neutral at the last second. Tuck the tailbone, peel, roll on up, reach out your knees. So the knees are reaching like over your toes. Tuck the tailbone just so you don't start to slide away from your feet. Abs draw in, tuck the tailbone, feel the reach out your knees as you peel off 1 bone at a time. And then roll back down, trying to feel each vertebrae getting its moment to shine, and release. Abs initiate, scoop the belly, tuck the tailbone, peel off, and control it down. We'll do 1 more time. Abs do the tucking of the tailbone, then that butt squeezes as you exhale, peel the spine off, and then inhale to roll down 1 vertebrae at a time. From here, you're going to flip over onto your side. Now, if you'd want to use the pillow, it would be totally fine. Or if you didn't grab it, you can use your bottom arm as a pillow. Your legs are going to be bent into tabletop, so 90 degrees at the hips, 90 degrees at the knees. You can do this without anything in your hand, or you can hold a light weight, like 2 pounds would be ideal, at most 3 pounds. And you only want to add the weight if it makes the stretch feel better. If it feels like it's hurting in any way, no need for the weight. Keep the knees glued together. Whether you have that weight or not, you're going to hover your hand in the air. You're going to twist forward like you're reaching for something across the floor. Then slide back to your side. Float that arm up. Your head is totally supported. Twist back and reach behind you. Take a deep breath in here. Look towards your hand. And then exhale, spiral back and close. Twist forward. Glide back, inhale, float the arm, exhale, twist the rest of the way back. Stay back here, breathe in, exhale, scoop the belly, spiral back around. Twist forward, glide back, float the arm. As you go back, try not to let those knees gap, so squeeze the knees together. Once you're twisted, stay for a deep breath into the sides and back of your ribs. And then exhale, connect at those abs, come back around. One more time. Twist forward, slide back, float the arm, twist and reach back behind you. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, spiral back and close. Before we flip over, we're going to do a clam here. So you're going to line up, the knees are not going to be in as high as they were. You're going to line up your heels with your sits bones roughly. You can still use your bottom arm as a pillow, or if you're on the pillow, your arm is just bent around the pillow. Before you do this move, lift your bottom ribs. So you're creating some space in the waist, between the waist and the floor. And that's just going to give us a little extra ab work. And then from here, lift and lower the knee only as far as it'll comfortably go. You don't have to force it. Exhale on the way up, inhale down. The biggest mistake people make with this is to rock the whole pelvis backwards. So they do a whole weight shift. Keep your pelvis still, even if that limits your range of motion. It'll target these muscles in the sides of your glutes, your glute medius and your external rotators better, and that's going to help with balance, right? So this one will also be helping that standing one we did, and I already lost count. I meant to do 10 of these. 4, we'll say. 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to open like a book. So you keep your legs in the same position, but the foot and the knee lift together. And again, try not to let that pelvis rock. You're getting what movement you get out of the outer thigh. Exhale to lift. 4. You want to imagine you're moving through molasses in both directions. 2, 1. Now curl into a fetal position, rub or pat where you feel that. And then we're going to flip over. We're going to do all of those on the other side. So our spinal rotation, our clam, and our opening like a book. So again, if you have a pillow, you can use it and just wrap your arm out of the way. Otherwise, your bottom arm can be your pillow. For spinal rotation, we're in tabletop, 90 degrees at the hips and the knees, and you're thinking of lifting that bottom rib. From here, holding the weight or not, twist forward, glide back, float the arm, reach back, and deep breath in, exhale, spiral back around. Twist forward, glide back, float, open, reach behind you, breathe in, exhale, spiral back. Twist forward, squeezing those knees together, glide back, float, open, breathe in, and exhale, spiral back. Twist forward, glide back, float the arm, deep breath in here. Exhale, zip those jeans, come on back around. Bring your heels a little further back so they line up with the sit bones. Still think of this lifted rib, and lift and lower the knee for the clam, keeping the feet together without rocking your whole pelvis back. Exhale to lift it. 5, 4, 3, and now lifting that whole leg like a book, lift and lower. Again, don't worry about how high it is, right? Those Jane Fonda leg lifts, they weren't that useful. Less movement, keeping the rib cage stable and lifted and the pelvis stable is going to target those muscles more. 5, 4, as hopefully you're feeling right now. 3, 2, 1. Curl into a fetal position, rub or pat where you feel that. From here, we'll come on up to a seated position. Anything that's comfortable. If you'd like to sit back up on your bolster, you can, or you can sit on the floor. But you're going to circle those ribs like you're inside a wine barrel, and you're tracing all the edges of the barrel. And this is just our little cool down, but you made it. Well done. Reverse directions. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Find yourself back in center. You can wiggle anything you need to wiggle. I'm here. If you have any questions, feel free to email me if you wind up with questions, or when you decide you've had enough and you need some new moves, or you need to change just part of it. But otherwise, well done for finishing your workout. I hope you have a great day and keep moving. This is the time to go out and build up to that 3-mile walk, right? Because I think that is a part of what your doctor is hoping for you. All right, Nancy, have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.